Hi everyone, I'm Paddy Brennan and this is my runner by runner guide through the Grand National. Let's find you the winner. I am Maximus, obviously won last year's Grand National very impressively. Hasn't looked in the same sort of form this season, but I feel this has been the prep all year and I think he'll run a massive race. Royal Pagaille, horse that seems to love Haydock, Betfair Chase. I just think it's going to be tough from here on drying ground. Hopefully he'll give Charlie Deutsch a good spin, but I look at him as an outsider. Nick Rocket, form this season's been very strong. He's obviously got a lot of weight, but for a reason. I think he's got a good chance in this race, and not sure who rides yet, but he's one I'd certainly want to ride. Grange Clare West, coming on the back of a slightly disappointing run. The run time before was very encouraging. Outside chance at a big each way price. Uick, the people's horse. As we get closer to this race, the more chance I give him. He'll love the ground. He's got brilliant jockey booking in Gavin Sheehan. He'll get the trip. I think he's got a massive chance. Manila Indo needs no introduction. Third in the race last year. He's not getting any younger. He'll love the race. He'll be a brilliant ride. Again, outside chance. Appreciated, another one for Willie Mullins. Been a great servant. I think he'll be a good spin round, but I look at him as an outsider. Manila Cocooner, very interesting runner. Very good jockey booking in Johnny Burke for Willie Mullins. A horse I give a massive chance to. I think he'll run into a place. Conflated, been a brilliant servant over the years. Again, he's not getting any younger. He loved the track, he loved the fences, but I see him as an outsider. Stumptown, being an unbelievable horse this season, especially in cross-country races, comes here as favourite. I think he's got a big chance, but I don't look at him as the complete horse to beat. He's got a big weight, and I think he might just come up short to 1 or 2. Hitman, big ride for Freddie Gengel, a horse that needs to stay. I look at him as a outsider, but hopefully he gives Freddie a brilliant ride. Beauport ticks a lot of boxes for me in this race. Ground slight concern, but I think in the National you can sometimes overcome that. I think he's got a massive each way chance. Brave Man's Game, obviously got some really strong form in the past. Look, coming into a race like this, you need to be at your very best, and I'm not quite sure he is. I look at him as an outsider. Chantry House, be a great spin. I think he'll take to the race really well, but I look at him as an outsider in this race. 300-5, very good jockey booking, Harry Skelton. I think he'll give him a great ride. Got an outside each way chance, I would say. Percival La Galois, coming in the back of 2 wins. The booking of Mark Walsh, I think he's got a massive chance. If you're a jockey, he's be on the top 5 you'd want to ride in the race, and I think he'll go very close. Can Do Kid, winner of the Coral Cup at Newbury this year. I thought he was a very good winner. This has been the plan ever since. Got a bit more to do here, but I think again he'll run a big each way chance in this race. Aroko, feel like this has been the plan all season. John Joe Neal, big ride for him. Love the ground. Yeah, he's got a lot of ticks in the boxes. I think he'll run a massive race. Intense Raffles, obviously got very strong form. Irish National winner. He looks to be ahead of the market. Big ride for JJ Slevin. He obviously got a massive chance. Fence is a slight question mark for me. Just whether he'll jump them a bit too well. A little bit careful maybe. Other than that, got a really good chance. Senior Chief, big runner for the Lucky in Life Syndicate. Hope he runs a massive race for them. Again, I look at him as a slight outsider. Had a run over hurdles last time. Hopefully he can run a massive race. Ida Spy, big runner in the race for Richard Phillips. Obviously it's an outsider. It is the Grand National, we can never forget that, but I think it's going to be difficult for him here. Bill's Door, another runner for Gordon Elliott in the race. Will like the ground, but I look at him as an outsider. I think it's going to be tough for him. Broadway Boy, most beautiful horse. Slightly missed the break last time in Cheltenham, and on the back of that he was disappointing. He's a lot to bounce back from here, but he is trained by Nigel Twiston Davis and he is the national king. Cocoa Beach, again, to be a great spin in the race, but I look at him as an outsider and things are going to be difficult for him here. Stay Away Faye, finally the ride of Paul O'Brien. Big ride for him. Hopefully has a great spin round, but I think he's going to find it extremely difficult. Meeting of the Waters, it's got a lovely weight, 10.7. Obviously his form this year so far hasn't been amazing, but he finished 7th in the race last year and he's a very, very interesting runner. I think he'll run a massive race. Monbeg Genius, big runner for John Joe Neal and Nick Schofield. Will like the better ground, will like the race, but I look at him as an outsider. Vanillier, very interesting runner. I feel he was a very unlucky horse in the cross country at Cheltenham. I think this horse has got a massive chance and he'll go very, very close. Haransu Dairy, big runner for Newmarket trainer Michael Keady and owner Jim Gill. A horse they recently purchased from Willie Mullins and Rich Ritchie, and this is what the Grand National is all about, having a runner. Look, he needs a lot of luck, but it is the Grand National. I hope they have a fantastic day. I look at him as an outsider. Highland, Nicky Henderson, Nico de Bonville will love the drying ground. Important he gets into a good rhythm. Needs to stay. Give him an outside each way chance. Celeb Dallin, runner for Philip Hobbs. I would question the trip slightly. I look at him as an outsider. 3-card Bragg, Gordon Elliott, big ride for Sean Bowen. Ticks a lot of the right boxes for this race. He's obviously needed to get in, which he has. I think he's got a massive each way chance. Twig, big ride for Bo Morgan and family, trained by Ben Pauling. I think he'll be a good spin, but I look at him as an outsider. Duffel Court, runner for Gordon Elliott, brought down in the cross country last time, on the back foot slightly here, and yeah, outsider. Here are my top 4 for the 2025 Aintree Grand National. 1, Uwick. Horse that the people's horse, I sometimes think about him as. A wonderful horse, really good grade 1 form, but the most important thing to him is decent ground, which he's going to have on Saturday, and I think he's got a massive chance. Number 2, Percival Lagawa, Gavin Cronwall. Horses are in unbelievable form following the win of their Gold Cup. I think this is their pick for the National. He'll love the ground. Mark Walsh takes the ride, and I think he's got a massive chance. Number 3, Beauport, Nigel Twiston-Davis. His record in the Grand National is exceptional, and I think this horse is made for the race. Would obviously like a little bit slower ground, but if he gets into a nice rhythm, I think he's got a massive chance. Number 4, Manila Cocooner. Willie Mullins, great jockey booking in Johnny Burke. I think he's coming into this race with very interesting form, and again I think he can run a massive race.